And she was crying out to the Lord, and Ishmael was under the bush crying out to God and praying. And the Lord said, what ails you? She said, I'm dying, and I don't want to see my son die now. And the Lord said, here, behold, there's a well of water. She went over and got the water and gave him a drink, and he was refreshed and he died. Well, she called the name of the well the Lord's Tree. So now Isaac is taken up residence near this particular well. And this well comes into the story a couple more times as we find that it is the area where Isaac had moved. Isaac came from the way of the well, the Hiroi, where he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at eventide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw the Lord. Now it is interesting that there is much spoken to us concerning the faith of Abraham. Very little is spoken to us comes in the line that's going to bring us to Jesus Christ. Now these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived 175 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost, or his spirit, literally, and died in a good old age. An old man, full of years, he was gathered to the people. 175 years old, Abraham died. That is, he gave up his spirit. In reality, what happened is that his spirit moved out of this old tent. Because this old tent was finished man. It was worn out. Once the tent is worn out, it has no more value. It doesn't keep out the rain or wind, rips, and it just constantly needs packing and repairing. It's time to move out of the tent. So Abraham moved out of his tent. Now, this was before Jesus Christ made access into heaven. So Abraham did not go into heaven, but he went into the grave, into Hades, where he became the master comforter of all of those who went into Hades waiting for the promise of God. So in the 16th chapter of Luke, we find Abraham in Hades, comforting Lazarus. And we find the rich man talking to Abraham. Abraham responded to him. Now when Jesus died, before he ascended into heaven, he first of all descended into the lower part of the earth, and he preached to those souls that were in prison. The spirits, Abraham's spirit, down there in prison. Jesus preached to them. To all of those who with Abraham were waiting for the promise of God, the Messiah. So the prophecy of Isaiah concerning Jesus Christ is that he would open the prison doors to those who were bound. That's the prison doors of death, where these people were bound. And he opened the doors so that when he ascended, he led the captivities from their captivity. He led the captives from their captivity. So that now, as a child of God, when my spirit leaves this tent, because of the way that Jesus Christ has made for me, when my spirit leaves this tent, it's going into a new house that is not made with God, not made with hands, a building of God eternal in the heavens. I'm moving out of this old tent into a new house that the Lord said he was going to prepare for me. He said, in my Father's house there are many mansions, and we're not sure I can't go to tell you I'm going to prepare a place for you. He's preparing me a new body. It is a building of God. It's not made with hands. It's eternal. This one is temporary. It'll never see the number of years that Abraham's body was. That would be to me, the worst thing that could ever happen to me would be to live for 175. I don't want to even see the 75. God so wills it, fine, but I don't think I'll ever see it. Because as this tent wears out, the Lord's already prepared a new building for my spirit. I'm getting sort of tired of this tent. The tent's getting sort of tired too. Tent's good for a while, but after a while you begin to realize that they're just not the conveniences in the tent that you'd like to have. You get longing to move into a house. One of these days I'm going to move into a brand new house. Building of God, not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. As our Paul said, we who are in this body, who often groan, earnestly desiring to move out. Not that we would be unembodied spirits, but that we might be clothed upon with the body which is from heaven. For we know that as long as we're in this body, in this tent, we are absent from the Lord, but we would choose rather to be absent from this body and to be present. Abraham gave up the ghost, or his spirit left his body, after dwelling in it for 175 years. Good old age, an old man, full. And he was gathered to his feet. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael, notice they are joined together now. There was that animosity that existed between them. But it seems that at least at their father's death, they were brought together. And at their father's death, they joined together. Ishmael is still there. And they buried Abraham in that cave of Machpelah, the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar, the Hittite, which is there before Mamre, that field which Abraham purchased in that, cultural thing that we got into last Sunday night. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, and so we'll follow Ishmael for just, a little way, and then we're going to drop him, because Ishmael isn't important to the story. And so he gives us the names of Ishmael's descendants, and they are no more important to you as are the descendants of Abraham's concubines, and so I'm not going to wrestle with those names. You can wrestle with them if you want. Verse 16, it says that these are the sons of Ishmael. These are their names, by their towns and their castles, 12 princes according to their names. These are the years of the life of Ishmael. He lived to be 137 years. He gave up the ghost and died and gathered them to his people. And they dwelt from Havilah to Shur, and that is before Egypt, as you go towards Assyria, and he died in the presence of all his sons. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Now we come to the one that's important, the one we will follow. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. Now, he married her, but yet she was unable